Police Garlight PGA Tour in turmoil. Rory McIlroy has united the game's biggest stars against what many are calling an unfair LIV merger deal that could reshape professional golf forever. A power struggle that has divided legends and left the future of the tour hanging in the balance. We've actually got a major story that every golf fan needs to hear about, because this isn't just about one deal. It's about the very soul of professional golf. One story involves Rory McIlroy's dramatic shift from advocating for a merger to leading the charge against it. And the other story is about the deep divisions this has created, with even Tiger Woods and McIlroy now seeing the future of golf very differently. If you've been following the LIV golf saga and the PGA Tour's battle for survival, you're definitely going to want to stay until the end, because there's a lot more going on here than it first appears. And before we jump in, if you're a true golf fan who enjoys following every twist and turn of the sport's biggest controversies, take a second to hit the like button and subscribe to Golfio. We're working toward building an incredible community of passionate golf fans, and having you with us would mean everything. So, let's start with the first big story, because the PGA Tour is facing its most significant crisis since the LIV golf split began. For nearly 2 years, Rory McIlroy was the de facto advocate for the PGA Tour in the absence of public leadership. He was the voice of resistance against LIV golf. He was the moral compass of the tour. He was the one who stood up and said that the Saudi-backed league was wrong for golf. But then, everything changed when PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan made a secret framework agreement with LIV Golf's financial backers in June 2023. McIlroy took a step back from the schism. Though he still did not believe in the LIV product, he felt with the framework agreement already in place, it was better for the sport to move forward. McIlroy even joined the transaction subcommittee that was tasked with negotiating with Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Alongside Tiger Woods and Adam Scott, McIlroy became part of the group that would decide the future of professional golf. But here's where it gets complicated. The negotiations have been nothing short of a nightmare. Adam Scott, who is also on the subcommittee, described the process bluntly, same as always. It sucks. It's not worth talking about. Obviously, it's so complex, and when the government department is involved, I think we sit and just wait for them. And then came the bombshell that changed everything. In a stunning development, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund announced it would be pulling its funding from LIV Golf after the current season. The move came after hemorrhaging billions and failing to gain traction with the American golf populace. The reaction was immediate. McIlroy, who had once advocated for unification, now admitted he was wrong. And he was glad. "I'm glad I was wrong," McIlroy said ahead of the PGA Championship at Aronimink Golf Club. "I can admit when I'm wrong, and that was one that I did get wrong." McIlroy explained that the geopolitical landscape played a significant role in PF's decision. "Look, I think everyone knows, like with everything that's happening in the Middle East, that had a lot to do. But whenever you have funding tied so much to the geopolitical landscape in the world, that's a tricky road to navigate." But while McIlroy was relieved that the deal was off, he also expressed sympathy for the LIV players who were left in the dark. "I feel like a lot of us in this room, including me, we almost knew before the players did that this was going to happen. Like, I was hearing about this back in March, April time," McIlroy revealed. McIlroy shared that he had been warning his close friend Ricky McCormick, who caddies for LIV golfer Tom McKibben, about the potential collapse. "I was saying to Ricky, even before Mexico, have you guys heard any of this stuff?" He was like, "No, everything seems okay over here." It just feels like the rug was pulled from under their feet, and everyone was sort of blindsided by it. But again, that's the risk that those guys chose to take. That final line, "the risk that those guys chose to take," sums up the growing divide between McIlroy and those who joined LIV. The tension didn't stop there. McIlroy's criticism of LIV players has become increasingly pointed, and it's creating a rift with some of the game's biggest stars. At the Truist Championship, McIlroy made a comment that seemed aimed directly at Bryson DeChambeau. "If you want to be the most competitive golfer you can be, this PGA Tour is the place to be," McIlroy told reporters. "And if you don't want to play here, I think that says something about you." The message was clear. Any LIV player who chooses not to return to the PGA Tour is somehow lacking competitive fire. McIlroy also addressed LIV's demise more broadly, saying, "When one of the wealthiest sovereign wealth funds in the world thinks that you're too expensive for them, that sort of says something." These comments have not gone unnoticed. Fans are divided. Some applaud McIlroy for his honesty. Others see him as self-righteous and preachy. A recent survey from RotoWire actually named McIlroy the most hated player on the PGA Tour. The golf media expressed disbelief, but fans online have been remarkably consistent in their criticisms. Fans describe him as self-righteous. They call him preachy. They accuse him of changing positions whenever it suits him. Others see a player who lectures everyone else while expecting grace whenever his own opinions evolve. And then there's the issue of the player equity program. The PGA Tour's deal with Strategic Sports Group created a $1.5 billion player equity program, with $930 million in initial grants awarded to 193 PGA Tour members. Group 1 consists of 36 players sharing $750 million based on career performance, last 5-year performance, and player impact program results. Group 4 consists of 36 legacy players sharing $75 million. But LIV players who want to return? That's a different story. The deeper truth is that this isn't just about one merger deal. It's about the fundamental divide in professional golf and the perception that the game's elite are protecting their own interests at the expense of everyone else. The player equity program has created a clear hierarchy. The top 36 players get the lion's share. The remaining 157 players share much less. And LIV players who want to return? Their path is uncertain at best. McIlroy himself has admitted that he and Tiger Woods see the future of golf differently. While they deny a personal rift, the policy differences are real. Woods is now the lone player on the negotiating committee with the Saudis, while McIlroy has been pushed to the outside. McIlroy revealed he won't be returning to the PGA Tour's policy board after it got pretty complicated and pretty messy. Reports suggested that Woods voted against McIlroy rejoining the board, while McIlroy downplayed the tension, saying, "No, there's no strain there." He admitted, "I think we might see the future of golf a little bit differently." Meanwhile, Jon Rahm, who joined LIV in December 2023 for a reported $500 million, is also facing backlash. Rahm has refused to accept a deal with the DP World Tour that would settle fines and end disciplinary action over his violations of regulations. The deal requires him to play 6 events on the European schedule, with 2 chosen by the tour. Rahm called it extortion. The irony is staggering. As one journalist put it, a man who signed away his free choice to LIV, which explicitly dictates where he must play 14 weeks a year, balks at allowing 2 weeks of his schedule to be chosen by the tour he claims residual loyalty to. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, what do you see? A tour in turmoil, a legendary player trying to shape its future, and a growing revolt from the very players who are supposed to benefit from the changes. McIlroy went from advocating for a merger to leading the charge against it. He went from being the moral compass of the PGA Tour to one of its most polarizing figures. And through it all, the game of golf remains fractured. One question remains. Was Rory McIlroy right to admit he was wrong? Or does his shifting position reveal something deeper about the chaos consuming professional golf? And with LIV's future now uncertain, what happens to the players who chose to leave and the ones who stayed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know where you stand on this. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Golfio. We're a brand new channel, and our goal is to bring you honest, unfiltered golf discussions from one golf fan to another. We're working toward building an amazing community, and we'd love to have you with us for every big story throughout the season. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Play well, and as always, keep it on the fairway.